Hi, in this video I want to talk about images. To be more precise, I want to point out that when you insert images in articles on a website and their file sizes are too large, they tend to slow down the website. There's a general rule which is always a good thing to keep in mind, and that is that images should be resized to fill the optimum space for the purpose that you want to use it for. What I always do in all cases, I always resize my images before I use them on the website, whether I use it in a gallery or whether I use it in an article. The purpose of this video would be to show you how to format your image before you would use it on the website. For that purpose, I'm going to talk about that image here. If I click on the image and select it, you will notice there that item that I selected, it's got a file size of 2.33 megabyte. Now, I always try to reduce file sizes to the lowest possible size that I can get without sacrificing the quality or the size of the image that I want to display on the website. In all cases, it is possible to reduce an image size to less than a megabyte, and if you could reduce it to a half a megabyte, it would be even much better. So we're going to try and have a look at that right now. Whenever I resize an image, I use that application, which is Irfan View. You can use any application, photo editor or image editor application you want to use, but I find Irfan View very simple. It is free to download from the internet. You don't have to pay for it at all, and it is very, very useful. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to open that image in Irfan View, and there you have it. Now you will notice that this is a very large image. This image is 3000, a little bit over 3000 pixels by 2000 pixels. Now a normal laptop screen is only a little bit more than 1000 pixels to 780 pixels, let's say. I can't be too sure what it is, but it is not too far out. I have over the years found that any image that has a size of 800 pixels by 600 pixels is good enough to use. But I will illustrate that now. Now you will see that what you see here, even though you see the whole image, it is reduced to 30% of its original size. If I would increase that size, which I will try and do now, if I go to that option, the original size, and I click on it, you will notice that the image is very large. And I'm now scrolling with my mouse wheel so you can see how large the image really is, and there you can see I now see 100% view of it. Now the image is of good quality, there's no problem with that, but it is really not useful to use on a website with that size. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate how I would resize this image and save it so that it can be used on a website. So in this application, Irfan View, it is very simple. All you need to do is go to the image menu item, then go down the list, find resize and resample. In that list you can see how many things you can do. Very useful program. And in here it tells you that the current size is set to 3008 pixels wide by 2000 pixels high. If you change it to inches, if you click on that button, it tells you that it's 10 inches by 6.5 inches. To resize this, I would like to have the image aspect ratio to be preserved, so I'll always make sure that that tick box is ticked, which means that the height and the width will be proportionally changed. You have the opportunity to pick any of these preset formats, and which makes it very simple to do. I will just simply pick the 800 by 600 pixels. It tells me that the current size is that, the new size will be that. You can see it's not exactly 600, but the width is the aspect ratio on that image between the width and the height is 800 by 532 pixels, which is fine. So when I have selected the size I want, for me 600 by 480 is a bit small. 800 by 600 for me is the preferred size, but you could also go to 1024 pixels by 768 pixels. This here would fit on a large desktop screen, but with today's mobile devices, no screen really will give you that size. For this illustration I will use 800 by 600. All I now do is click on OK, and you will find that the image is resized. This is now the full size of the new image. As you can see there, it is the 100% size that is shown, and if you really look at it, that image is large enough to use on a website. Any larger would not make a lot of sense, and smaller wouldn't make a lot of sense either. Now that I have resized my image, all I really need to do is to save it and to use the newly saved image. And then once we saved it, we will see how the file size reduced from over 2 megabytes to far less than 1 megabyte. Click on File, save it in the original folder where I got it from in the first place, and there is the original image, and I want to save it under a new name, so I'm going to call it Red Train, and I'm going to use a hyphen and say 800px. The reason I do that is just to show that this image is 800 pixels wide, just so that I can find it very easily later on to use on the website. All I do now is click on Save, and it is saved. If I now close the application and look at my original folder, you will find that there's the image that I saved. There's the original image, which is still selected, and you can see that is 2.33 megabyte. There is the new image. If I click on that, it has now reduced to 380 kilobyte, which is only about a third of a megabyte. The purpose of this video was simply to show how to reduce the size of any image that you want to use on the website to a sensible size, and sizes of images to this extent will not degrade the performance of your website, whereas many large images will degrade the performance of the website. Thank you for watching.